Now, the Sean Diddy Combs investigation. New surveillance video shows Combs being taken into custody in a Manhattan hotel last week. Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Kotursky, is at the scene of his arrest. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Robin. This is the hotel where Sean Combs was arrested a week ago. You can now see how that arrest went down. This morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs. His lawyer said Combs had come to New York 2 weeks earlier with the intention of turning himself in. He did not expect the agents to be waiting at his hotel last Monday night.
And Sean Diddy Combs' kids are speaking out for the first time since the music mogul was taken into custody. 4 of his 7 children released a statement on Instagram saying they want to clear up false rumors about their mother. Meanwhile, a new accuser is coming forward.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I've been holding a lot of lately. Oh, man, I just had like a 3.5 hour cry where I just like let it all out, or as much as I could tap into. And that was great. Sometimes you gotta let that shit out. Just saying to everybody out there, men, women, and child, you know what I'm saying? Don't be leaving nothing bottled up, you know what I'm saying? Let that thing out. God will be right there, let you know. Come on, let's get up, let's go. But I had me a 3.5 hour cry. God is good.
Jake, who is well known in both the religious and showbiz worlds, has been linked to Diddy's fancy parties for a long time, which has made people wonder what kind of relationship they have. In a shocking turn of events, Jake is said to be under a lot of pressure after CNN aired a new video of him with Sean Diddy Combs, who was recently arrested on serious charges like trafficking and racketeering.
About these rumors surrounding, Diddy and TD Jakes.
I'm looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin, drinking, maybe fornication, man on man, woman on woman, he on she. Real strange that he would be found at any kind of Diddy party or any kind of place with Diddy unless it's in a business atmosphere.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear puppy. Happy birthday to you. We love you, man.
Why would you find a religious man, when you know that the saints supposed to separate themselves from the sinners, and why would a religious man like himself be at a party which ain't nothing but sin that's going on, bro? Whether it's drinking, maybe fornicating, maybe, like I said, men on men, women on women. It's hard to put in perspective unless he's involving himself what is actually going on at the parties. I really don't know why, as a spiritual advisor to him, that they buddy while he got a party with him like that and be at his parties. It's got to be, maybe it's something more that meets the eye. I've talked to preachers and I've talked to reverends and priests, but they ain't never came to a party with me or nothing like that. So it's hard to figure that one out, bruh, without even saying, what people might be thinking. But I heard that there's supposed to be some tapes or something that's coming out real soon, and I guess we'll all really know the truth.
Now that Diddy faces legal turmoil, the stakes have dramatically escalated for Jake, who is said to be in a state of panic over the possibility that his connection to the hip-hop MLA could come back to haunt him, with rumors swirling that Diddy might turn on his associates. Jake is understandable concerned that the newly leaked footage could implicate him in criminal activities or expose details of their dealings that he would rather keep under wraps as the situation unfolds. The spotlight is shifting toward Jake, leaving many to wonder how this will impact his reputation and whether he might face legal repercussions of his own. Diddy Combs found himself at the center of a high-profile legal battle on Tuesday when he was denied bail. After facing serious federal charges including trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transporting individuals for the purpose option in a packed courtroom in New York City, Combs stood before us Magistrate Judge Robin Tarnasky, where he pleaded not guilty to all the charges. The case has already drawn significant media attention, not only because of the gravity of the allegations, but also due to Combs' long-standing fame and influence in the entertainment industry.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility. The special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
The decision to deny bail came after a tense hearing in which prosecutors painted a grim picture of Cole's alleged conduct. They argued that he poses an ongoing and significant danger to the community, citing both the nature of the charges and his repeated efforts to allegedly obstruct justice. According to them, Combs' wealth and resources further made him a significant flight risk, a key reason why they pushed for him to remain in custody. This is not just about the charges themselves, it's about the lengths Mr. Combs has gone to in order to avoid accountability, one prosecutor said. Underscoring their case, on the other side comes legal team, led by high-profile attorney Mark Agnifilo, fought hard to secure his release on bond. Agnifilo argued that the charges against Combs, while serious, did not merit such extreme measures, especially given that Combs had strong ties to the community and had never before been a flight risk. The defense sought to downplay the prosecution's claims, emphasizing Combs' reputation and cooperation thus far.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in. 1, 2, 3.
A day earlier, Combs seen out and about in New York with his family, seemingly in good spirits. Combs has pleaded not guilty.
However, despite these arguments, Judge Tarnasky ultimately sided with the prosecution the following day. Foe attempted to appeal the judge's decision, but his efforts were unsuccessful, and Combs remained in custody. The denial of bail marks a critical point in the legal proceedings and signals the seriousness with which the court is treating the case. As the case continues to unfold, Combs faces not only a potential legal downfall but also the impact of these allegations on his public persona, career, and legacy, with prosecutors pushing for detention and Combs' defense team preparing for a long fight. This case is likely to keep evolving both in the courtroom and in the public eye. Following Tuesday's hearing, Mark Anif, Diddy's attorney, addressed reporters outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan, expressing confidence in his client's innocence. Anifilo stated firmly that Combs did not commit the crimes he's been accused of, vowing to fight the charges vigorously. He's been looking forward to this day. Agnifilo said he's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. It was clear that Combs and his legal team were gearing up for what could be a lengthy and highly publicized legal battle. The charges against Combs were outlined in an indictment that was unsealed Tuesday morning, just hours after federal authorities took the hip-hop mogul into custody in New York. Multiple law enforcement sources, including CBS News, reported that Coles' arrest was part of an ongoing investigation led by Homeland Security Investigations. The unsealed indictment revealed a staggering array of allegations dating back to 2008, when prosecutors claim Combs became involved in a criminal organization that committed or attempted to commit various serious offenses. Among the charges in the indictment, prosecutors alleged that Combs was involved in forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice, among other crimes. The scope of the accusations painted a damning picture of Combs' alleged activities over the years, with the indictment suggesting that he played a key role in orchestrating these criminal acts. Prosecutors are framing this as part of a broader pattern of behavior tied to an organized criminal enterprise, further complicating Coles' current charges. The unsealing of the indictment marked a major turning point in the investigation, with law enforcement sources emphasizing that this was the result of years of work. While Combs' defense team is determined to clear his name. The breadth and gravity of the charges pose significant challenges for hip-hop icon. As the case continues to unfold, it will likely raise questions not only about Combs' legal fate, but also about the broader implications for his legacy and influence in the entertainment industry. During a news conference on Tuesday, U.S. Attorney Damon Williams of the Southern District of New York shared further details about the case against Sean Diddy. Combs Williams stated that there were multiple victims involved, though he did not specify an exact number, and he encouraged others who may have been affected to come forward. The allegations, which span over a decade, paint a disturbing picture of Coles's alleged behavior, which prosecutors claim began in 2009 and continued for years. According to the indictment, Combs is accused of repeatedly using violence, threats, and coercion to satisfy his desires and protect his reputation. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs threatened and coerced victims to fulfill his desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct, Williams told reporters. He went on to explain that Combs allegedly used his vast business empire to orchestrate a racketeering conspiracy, allowing him to carry out these criminal activities under the guise of his professional ventures.
You know, he was blackmailing his victims because he had videos from old freak-offs, and he was using those videos to get his victims to do another freak-off. So,
if he was blackmailing people, especially people that work for him, see, this is what it's gonna get him at. See, people think that, those people work for him, or those people, if they was artists and they work for him, or they were engineers, or they anybody that worked for them and stuff like that, your boss cannot blackmail you to do nothing. If you do a act or you doing anything, your boss, if he have you doing those things like that, then he could be liable for suit, because you're not doing it willingly, because that individual is your boss. So psychologically, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say, that when somebody has something over you, could determine your job, your career, your livelihood. That's somewhat of a blackmail if they holding stuff that they've done, that you've done in the past, over your head to make you continually doing that stuff. Now, that's where he loses at. Because some of those people worked for him, or he was a part of doing something. They was part of doing something for their career with him. That's why he loses that case.
The scope of the charges has shocked many, as the indictment suggests that Combs used his power and influence not only to commit these crimes, but also to shield himself from accountability. Williams emphasized the serious nature of the charges, noting that the indictment points to a systematic pattern of abuse that was intentionally concealed to protect both Combs' reputation and his financial empire. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson weighed in on the case, highlighting the severe legal consequences that Combs could face if convicted. Levinson noted that Combs could spend decades in prison if the charges hold up in court. Given the nature of the alleged offenses, however, she also pointed out the possibility that the case might not even go to trial, suggesting that there could be negotiations for a plea deal or other legal strategies that might alter the course of the proceedings. As this case moves forward, the legal and public spotlight on Combs will undoubtedly intensify. The high stakes, both legally and reputationally, could result in a drawn-out legal process that will challenge the music mogul on multiple fronts. Most cases do not go to trial, she said. Most cases do result in a plea deal, and we can expect that in the coming days and weeks, and likely months. Sean Cole's attorney and the federal prosecutors will potentially try and find some meeting of minds about a plea deal, but I think it's hard to escape the idea that that plea deal will have to include some prison time. The indictment against Sean Diddy Combs laid out disturbing details of the allegations, describing how he allegedly manipulated women to engage in highly orchestrated performances of activity with male commercial prosecutors claimed that Combs arranged for these women along with others to be flown to various locations where these acts took place. The document further alleges that Combs maintained control over the women through a combination of coercion, drug distribution, and threats. According to the indictment, Combs ensured participation from the women by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut off the same, as well as using intimidation and violence. The picture painted by the prosecution suggests that Combs used his influence not only to exploit these women, but to make them feel dependent on his power, ensuring their compliance by controlling both their personal and professional lives as attorney. Damon Williams, in his statement to reporters, emphasized the gravity of the case. He made it clear that the investigation into Combs was still ongoing, and hinted that additional charges could be brought forward. Williams also suggested that other individuals connected to the case could face legal consequences, stating this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. Williams' comments underscored the seriousness with which the Southern District of New York is approaching this case. The fact that more charges could be on the horizon highlights the potential scope of the investigation, which has already snared Combs, and allegations of a criminal enterprise spanning years. The case now not only challenges Combs personally, but also poses broader questions about those within his circle and the extent of their involvement in this alleged network. As the legal process continues, the possibility of new revelations looms, making this an evolving and deeply complex case that goes beyond just the charges currently on the table. For those of you who don't know, the indictment against Sean Diddy Combs references a troubling incident from 2016 that was captured on hotel security cameras. Earlier this year, CNN aired the footage which allegedly shows Combs attacking singer Cassie, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, in a hallway of a Los Angeles hotel. This disturbing footage has garnered significant public attention and added to the serious allegations against Combs. In May, following the release of the footage, Combs publicly apologized for his actions, calling his behavior inexcusable and stating that he takes full responsibility for what happened that night. His admissions seem to acknowledge the gravity of the incident, but it also raises questions about his conduct and accountability over the years. The indictment further claims that Combs attempted to bribe a hotel security staff member who intervened during the altercation, trying to persuade them to keep quiet about the incident. This alleged effort to manipulate the situation adds another layer of seriousness to the charges, suggesting a pattern of behavior aimed at avoiding accountability for his actions. The indictment details disturbing allegations that he referred to the incidents as freak-offs. Prosecutors claim that Combs not only orchestrated these encounters but also recorded them, using the footage as leverage over the victims. This manipulation, according to the indictment, was a calculated strategy to ensure compliance and obedience among those involved. As attorney Damon Williams stated that Combs distributed controlled substances to the victims, contributing to their vulnerability and making them more susceptible to his influence. The indictment alleges that Combs maintained control over these individuals through various means. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. Williams explained this tactic of using private recordings as a form of coercion suggests a calculated method of intimidation. The indictment further alleges that Combs controlled the victims in several ways by providing them with drugs, threatening to withdraw financial support or housing, promising career opportunities, monitoring their whereabouts, and even dictating their physical appearance. This multifaceted approach to manipulation paints a picture of a systemic abuse of power where Combs leveraged his status and resources to exploit those around him. The victims didn't believe that they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. Williams said prosecutors also accused Combs of carrying or brandishing guns to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Williams said Homeland Security investigations agents who raided Cole's homes in Los Angeles and Miami in March found firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large-capacity drum magazine.
It also comes on the heels of a raid by federal authorities at Combs' Los Angeles mansion in March, at what the Department of Homeland Security confirms is part of an ongoing trafficking investigation.
And this is the hotel where Sean Combs was arrested a week ago. You can now see how that arrest went down. This morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs. His lawyer said Combs had come to New York 2 weeks earlier with the intention of turning himself in. He did not expect the agents to be waiting at his hotel last Monday night.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in. 1, 2, 3.
A day earlier, Combs seen out and about in New York with his family, seemingly in good spirits. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, trafficking, and prostitution charges. At the center of the case, this 2016 video obtained by CNN that depicts Combs attacking his then-girlfriend, the singer Cassie, and then dragging her back toward a hotel room. Federal prosecutors said the video is powerful evidence of how dangerous the hip-hop mogul could be to women, part of why 2 different federal judges denied him bail.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
Combs, who lived in this $50 million Miami mansion, is now in an isolated unit of a federal jail in Brooklyn known for miserable conditions.
The special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
When Combs first arrived at jail, he was monitored for that's common for any high-profile inmate. But his attorney says Combs is not suicidal. Rather, guys, he's focused on defending himself.
William Walker, who was working as special agent in charge of Homeland Security investigations in the New York field office, praised people who came forward to help the police. A lot of people, including Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal, have spoken out against what he has done.
Feds is going after all these politicians in New York City.
Yeah, the feds revealed that, anybody that, participated in any, criminal behavior at his freak-offs, they're going to pursue.
Listen here. The mayor here take like 15 spoons of sugar in his coffee. So it's all a possibility.
Do you think there's any celebrities on them tapes?
Bro, he gave celebrity parties. So what you think? I think they're not telling the whole truth, is that because of the situation in Miami and the situation in California, and they close the clubs like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. or something like that, that Justin and Christian was bringing big vans of girls and people back to the mansion and giving parties and stuff like that. And a lot of those stuff were their parties. A lot of their parties. They wasn't always Puff parties. It was his son's parties.
BK, Combs has faced a number of lawsuits in recent months involving allegations of misconduct and violence. Combs and his representatives have denied all the accusations. In November 2023, Ventura filed a lawsuit accusing Combs of during their relationship. He denied the accusations. They reached a settlement the following day. As the revelations surrounding Shy Diddy Combs continue to unfold, TD Jake finds himself increasingly anxious that his carefully crafted facade may soon be shattered. For years, Jakes has maintained an image of a respected spiritual leader and influential figure in the entertainment industry, but new footage released by CNN threatens to expose the darker undercurrents of his associations, with the focus now shifting to his involvement in Diddy's parties and the potential implications of their friendship. Jack is worried that the public will see through the polished exterior he has built over decades. The more details that emerge about Diddy's alleged criminal activities, the more questions arise about Jake's own role and knowledge of those events. The fear of being unmasked looms large as Jake contemplates what could happen if Diddy were to cooperate with authorities. If the hip-hop mogul decides to divulge information about their connections, Jake could find himself implicated in a scandal that would not only tarnish his reputation, but also undermine the trust placed in him by his followers and supporters. The prospect of having his name dragged through the mud, coupled with the threat of legal repercussions, creates an environment of paranoia for Jake as he navigates these tumultuous waters. And it's not just Jake who is worried. Pink recently found herself at the center of controversy when fans noticed that her formerly Twitter account appeared to be completely wiped clean. Many speculated that she had deleted her tweets in response to Sean Diddy Combs' arrest, leading to a flurry of rumors and speculation about her possible connections to the disgraced rapper. However, in a bid to set the record straight, Pink issued a statement clarifying that she had no association with Diddy and that her decision to clear her account had nothing to do with his legal troubles. Similarly, Usher also faced scrutiny after fans observed that his account was momentarily wiped shortly after Combs' arrest. The timing raised eyebrows and led some to wonder if Usher was attempting to distance himself from the unfolding scandal. In response to the speculation, Usher made a brief statement emphasizing that the disappearance of his tweets was not related to Diddy and had its own reasons. Both artists seem keen to distance themselves from the turmoil surrounding Diddy, showcasing a desire to protect their own reputations amid the swirling drama as the fallout from Diddy's legal issues continues to reverberate through the entertainment industry. It's clear that many are taking proactive steps to ensure their names remain untarnished in the public eye. Pink is adamantly distancing herself from Sean Diddy Combs amid his ongoing legal troubles, which escalated following his arrest in New York after a grand jury indictment. Recently, Pink, along with other celebrities, faced scrutiny over their alleged connections to Diddy, especially after fans noted that her formerly Twitter account appeared to be completely cleared shortly after the rapper legal issues came to light. In response to the swirling rumors, Pink took to her platform to clarify the situation. She emphasized that her account had actually been wiped clean back in February, long before Diddy's arrest. "I don't know why I became a headline this week, but I wiped my Twitter account on February 6th, she stated, firmly refuting any claims that her actions were linked to Diddy. Pink went on to further address the rumors, saying, "There is no truth to the rumors spread this week, and while I've met people in passing, I'm not associated with any of the people mentioned." Her statement reflects her desire to set the record straight and maintain her reputation amidst the chaotic fallout from Diddy's scandal to bolster her claims. Pink also shared a screenshot of a tweet she made back in February announcing her intentions to wipe her account. By doing so, she not only defends her choices, but also attempts to quell any further speculation about her connection to Diddy and the controversy surrounding him as the entertainment world continues to react to Diddy's legal situation. Pink's proactive stance highlights her commitment to separating herself from the drama. On the other side, full preparations are being made. Diddy's attorney Mark Eginief recently revealed that the rapper will take a bold stance by defending himself in his upcoming criminal trial. This high-profile case has captured the attention of both fans and the media, marking a significant turning point for Diddy as he faces serious charges including trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in. Additionally, Diddy could face inquiries about the so-called drug-fueled, referred to as freak-offs, as well as other allegations that have emerged against him in recent months.
Freak-offs will last for days.
That's where they're gonna get him on this trafficking thing. Especially like if he was traveling and doing it. That's where the trafficking come at. That you hiring workers to come and have your girl, that's crazy. That's some Hollywood that I don't even know, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. But they also claiming that, Diddy, he'll give ecstasy to his victims to keep them obedient.
Then they have to bring those witnesses in there. That's gonna be something hard to prove. Unless Lil Rob or or Cassie state that was something that happened. That's how the prosecutor's gonna prove that. They got a ton of evidence that they gotta try to prove, bro. A lot of that if you read it, it could be circumstantial, you know what I'm saying? But they gotta have witness to back it up. You just can't say that that happened based on somebody lawsuit and what the words that they're saying. They have to have witnesses in there. And I think Puff lawyers is gonna be smart enough to attack that.
The gravity of the charges against him, the implications of such a conviction, are profound not only for Diddy's career but also for his legacy. In addition to the potential life sentence for racketeering, the trafficking charge alone carries a statutory minimum sentence of 15 years, underscoring the serious nature of these allegations. As the legal proceedings unfold, the stakes couldn't be higher. A conviction would drastically alter the course of Diddy's life, potentially leading to decades behind bars and a tarnished reputation that would be difficult to recover from with such severe consequences on the line. The upcoming trial will be pivotal, not only for Diddy but also for the broader conversations about accountability and justice in the entertainment industry. So what do you think? Comment down below and let us know. If you like this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be the first to see my next video. I post updates like this every week where I uncover the secrets of your favorite celebrities.